Okay, not sure what part of any episode this is going to get into, but I spoke with some people, and it's quite possible that some of Hair Cougar's problems are not caused by any physical problem with any of the systems, but with water in the carburetor. So, Berriman's drives out moisture in gasoline engines. We'll see. Hello everyone. I don't know what part of what video this is going to end up in, but today I thought I'd try and address the amount of mileage a Hair Cougar actually has. One of the things to look at is pedal wear. And that brake pedal looks actually really good. Let's check the gas pedal. Well, that might be a little bit more difficult. That's been gone for some time. Don't even know where it is. Next is upholstery. And you can see that Hair Cougar's upholstery, well, what isn't covered by things, is excellent. And these new cracks and these splits here, these were caused by my heavy behind. And the lining in the trunk was also intact until I did a move at 45 below. Yeah, Mr. Bubbles kept insisting on coming with me, of course, and then he insisted on leaving the car. I don't know why. He had a nice little snow cave he'd back into, and I started whistling, and he looked up at me, and being Mr. Bubbles, he forgot who I was and ran off into the ice fog. I just called him. He came right back. And another day here, I figured out how to match the engine numbers, but I'm going to wait for engine and transmission numbers to the VIN, but I'm going to wait for a warmer day for that. Okay, this Berriman's has been helping, which lends credence to its Hair Cougar's present problem is water in the carburetor. Cheap fix. Okay, gotta take a long trip, part of the channel actually. I fully imagine that Hair Cougar could make it. My dad's not so sure. So instead, I'm sitting behind the wheel of this Toyota Camry rental, and I don't have to worry about things about like scorched battery terminals and how long to keep on the emergency occur Bible and to keep it in gear while you're doing it. And yeah, the rear, I think you can see that. The rear defrosters work, Hair Cougars don't. And, just turn the key and go. And I'll bet the dash lights even work. I think this is how normal people live. Okay, guys, we're about an hour north of Albany here. Yesterday and a part of the previous day, actually, I cannonball runned it from Minnesota to here, 24 and a half hours of total driving, only stopping to fuel up and pee. Yeah, what's being young for? Anyway, we're here outside a Gateway Wine and Liquor, and I wanted to share that one with you because I've never encountered a more aptly named business in all me puff. Let's see, what else is going on? I'll filter this out if it isn't interesting, but parts of the trip, a gray raccoon sort of shuffled across the road in front of me when I was still in Minnesota. I could tell he's an older feller. They live a coon's age, And I guess in Milwaukee, there was this amazing, I think it was a waning crescent moon. It was just yellow and orange and going through so much atmosphere. Is huge. It was one of the most amazing moons I've ever seen. And I tried to take a couple pictures of it with my phone because it was so just wow, but I don't think any of them came out. If they did, I'll share them on this video.
And, oh goodness, Chicago was like something out of Dante's Inferno. There are so many potential anecdotes here. But the one that really struck me is I was waiting to make a left-hand turn after filling up with gas, and that was neat because, or interesting, I won't say neat, because I imagine that everyone just wants to hear what I think was hip-hop music, just coming from soul-splitting volume outside of a speaker right on the pump. Yeah, that was great. And anyway, so I'm going into this intersection, and I'm making a left-hand turn, and the light changes, and I go to make the turn, and this one guy comes barreling into the intersection as fast as he can to give me the impression that he's going to run the light, just to sort of like, force me out of the intersection. And I'm thinking, anywhere outside of Chicago, does this type of driving logic make sense? Okay, guys, I don't know if this is actually going to work or not, but one is afforded an absolutely amazing view of Albany from Interstate 90. Cut myself off there. Like I said, guys, I have no idea if that worked. Uh-oh, Popo got shut down. Okay. We are at an undisclosed location. I've been repeatedly asked by a couple of you guys, is Hair Cougar been the only car we're going to work on? The answer is, Lord willing, no. And one of you has repeatedly asked about the Opals. The Opel GT. Well, the Opel GT, both of them, are supposed to be here. The fact that they're not has some potentially interesting implications. Okay, guys. Next day. False alarm. The Opals are under the brush pile. Just camouflage. Pretty clever. False alarm. Okay. And underneath this pile are the drivetrains. Original. We'll work out that the numbers match and all that. Oh, wow. Looks like we got some Cordoba hubcaps, too. Okay. And in this box here, we got a burrito transmission. That's a slang for, in this case, a 220 horsepower twin Mazda rotary, which my former boss in Alaska, and this is where the motor came from, Alaska, said that'll liquefy the tires nicely. And here we have my 1975 Suzuki RE5 rotary engine motorcycle. That's right. It's a factory Wankel engine motorcycle. Very few of these left. He just got a dent there in the tank. It was knocked over one point, ostensibly inadvertently. Very little to do with this one, just some mechanical adjustments. I spent a summer restoring it. And here, if we have any any lag time and have a way of getting this to my shop, well, that's presuming my shop exists in the future. It's my dad's 1952 Farmall Cub tractor. He's hanging on this all the way to the end, he says. It'd be nice to have this completely restored. Again, that also would just be cosmetic, because I spent a summer working on this one too. Different summer than the motorcycle. Okay, guys, here we are at an undisclosed location, and here we have the 57 Chevy reconverted street rod. This one is unique among my fleets in that I already have a buyer for this one. I just have to finish up a cosmetic and a few tiny little, things here and there. But otherwise, this one is, other than that, this one's pretty much ready to go. Yeah, here's the plant. This thing is ridiculous. I mean, it'll quite literally do like 110 after 2.5 city blocks, but it doesn't handle worth a crap. I mean, it handles significantly worse than Hair Cougar. Okay, and here we are Here we are behind the wheel. I mean, it's all here. It's complete. There's an emblem. Yeah, that fell down. But, yeah. I have that here. Oh, there it is, down there. Yeah, it's all complete. Everything's here. Just needs, some TLC and, yeah, we got a new starter solenoid in this. Yeah, this thing is pretty much ready to go. It's got some cracked glass over here. They did that at the shop and refused to replace it. Other than that, this thing's pretty ready to go. And here we are behind the wheel of my Cordoba, my 1978 Chrysler Cordoba, and this girl is my baby. This is a major reason why Rhino Ramps International exists, because I drove this car in high school, and I promised her if I made it, she was coming too. 229,521.8, but who's counting miles on her? Runs like a Swiss watch. Okay, it's something like the next day. Yeah, hard to keep track when one's on vacation, particularly here. Anyway, I'm behind the wheel again of my Cordoba, and I think we're gonna close this one out here. And now you're probably wondering, have I seen the whole fleet yet? And the answer to that is actually no. I've got 3 more. I have a 2010 Impreza, which is in my parents' backyard, which was my primary means of transportation until just recently. You guessed it, exhaust gases and the coolant. Needs to have the head gaskets done again. Nothing else can kill a Subi. And yeah, I got 2 more in Alaska, and I've been trying to get those back into the fold for 2 years now. Well, 2 summers anyway. Yep, so I guess that one's going to be it. I hope you guys like this. This was a very interesting one to make. And yeah, keep cleaning dishes, everyone. Okay, it looks like while I was away on my trip, a major storm hit the area. Now this genuinely cheeses me off for 2 reasons. One, I have a fan who has repeatedly requested that I film a true Midwestern blizzard. There was a recent one, or one earlier this season, that I, really tried to film, but it just didn't get off the ground. That's a pun. It was actually potentially a ground blizzard. And 2, as you have probably already guessed, I'm a real fan, aficionado, if not absolute fanatic about extreme weather. And I've been wanting to see what, one of these blizzards was really like, because since I read about one in a Laurel Ingalls Wilder book, I've been thinking, how bad can it be? Can it be as bad as he explained and as dangerous? Well, don't ever ask that of the Midwest, okay? Just don't. And our associate pastor, it's good that we have two pastors now because during this global pandemic, it's important that we're, fully pasteurized. Anyway, he's from Nebraska, which, when I stop and think about it, might be the only state with bra in the name. Well, moving right along, he was really impressed, if not kind of stunned by it. So it must have been really something. The only direct evidence I had was, of course, a couple of feet of snow on the ground when I got back, and the bottom bit on the roads, some of the side streets that can't be plowed and you have to wait for it to melt, was the fact that even inside a closed garage, there was, in my mind, a truly astonishing amount of snow, and snow blown up onto Herr Cougar. This is inside a closed garage. I want you to take a look at this picture and look at it for a minute. So, sorry I missed that, and sorry I missed that for you, viewer. And, well, okay, here we go. For real now, everybody, keep greener ditches.